Back to daytime, everyone. Travel. It can mean the best of times and the worst of times. Fighting airport traffic, standing in line, checking in, going through security, dealing with delays, battling jet lag. Those are just a few of the drawbacks.
Just a few. But there are steps we can take to lessen the stress. Whether you're traveling for work or pleasure, there are simple things that you can do to make your trip more peaceful. David Cunningham travels hundreds of days every year, and he's here to share his secrets of keeping the peace. How do you keep the peace? How do you stay peaceful when you're traveling? When I hear the word travel, I just think stress, hassle, stress, crying. Oh my gosh.
Well, the first thing is, before you leave, is to pick your priorities. You know, each of us have different things that are important to us, whether it's being in communication with our families, whether it's health and exercise, or whether it's being able to work productively while we're on the road. So what's really important is to decide that before you go, and then set yourself up to win. So if what's important is being in communication with your family, then set a time when you're going to call so you know that you don't leave it per chance. And if you do that, then before you go out the door, your commitments won't go out the window. What's important to you travels with you.
Okay, sometimes you can go into traveling and have, with the best intentions,
yeah.
I'm going to make this great. No matter what happens, I am going to deal with it, and I am not going to get upset. And then a baby throws up on you, or you've got somebody screaming next to you. So many external factors that you cannot control. How do you stay happy and peaceful through that?
Well, life is unpredictable, but certainly travel is too, right? So one important thing is to separate the facts from the story we add to those facts. You'll find that only 1% of the quality of our life, our happiness, is given by what happens. 99% is given by what we add to that. So, for instance, if the clerk in the store or the clerk at the hotel is rude to us, and then that's a fact, that happens. But if we decide that person's a jerk or that ruins our day, that's where we get upset. Or if we call home and our son or daughter is distracted and don't want to talk to us, that's the fact. But if we decide we shouldn't be traveling or they don't love us enough, that's where all the upset comes from.
Along those lines, it's so difficult to stay relaxed and at ease and peaceful when you have delays. Delays, missed flights, cancellations. How do you overcome those odds?
Well, another thing
and stay calm.
That's right. Another thing to do is to make requests. You know, at the Landmark Education seminars we lead all around the world, we find that the #1 thing that has people not get what they want is they don't make clear requests. If you make really clear requests, you know, if whatever it is you want, and you ask people for it, and then remember something else, if you appreciate and acknowledge what they have to go through to honor your requests, it really works out. You'll find you have partners in getting what you want as you travel.
You might not get a new flight, but you might be in a better situation.
But, you know, if you really appreciate what they have to do to get you that new flight, they'll work really hard to give it for you. And it's a better chance that you get it.
Oh, yeah. Now, we mentioned in the lead, you travel hundreds of days a year. How do you find a balance in your life if you're on the road that many days?
Well, I think it's really important to remember that it's still your life. So some people think that when you travel, you're out of your life. No, that is really still your life. So that to make everything work and to, you know, what's important to me is really to exercise and eat well. So I call ahead and make sure that we find the restaurants that work for that and the hotel has the right gym. It's important to me to be in communication with my family, so I get that well set up before I go. And it's important to me to be really productive. So I pack perfectly everything I need and the materials I need and get a workspace set up for me so I can work really well. It's just important to remember, it's not time out of our life, it is our life.
You're right.
You know, another thing that keeps us really happy when we're traveling is eating well. It's so easy to go to all the fast food restaurants, you know, in the terminals, but if you eat well, take a little more time or pack good food to bring with you so you're prepared. That helps you, you know, be a little bit more satisfied overall.
Of course, if you think ahead of what you're going to want, whether that be a little bag of almonds or some supplements that you want to take, but also, again, to not compromise. We really don't have to compromise when we're on the road. If we pick our priorities, make our requests, separate facts from stories, we really can have travel be as rewarding as being at home is.
Right. And I heard somebody say the other day, stress is not a physical thing. Stress is something that we create ourselves completely. True. So put it over there.
It is.
Don't bring it into your life.
Stay organized.
That's right. David Cunningham. Good to see you and happy travels.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.